Hi Collective, welcome to my channel, Cosmic Divine Seeker. Hi everyone. So this is going to be a message that I'm putting out for the twin flames, right? Now, if you're on this twin flame journey, I want to prepare you for it, just to be open to what I'm going to explain in this reading, right? Or in this video, because I know how challenging the twin flame journey is on it ever since I was activated, right, to it. And a lot of we have like these times in our life. It's that you're supposed to be activated. You know, it's embedded in you, right? So a lot of us, it's around when we turn 30. I don't know why. Something to do with 30s, right? I mean, maybe not for everybody. Like I said, just be open. And if you don't agree with what I'm saying, that's fine. You know, there's different flows of these twin flames, but I'm just telling you about my journey. So, you know, a lot of you might resonate with that. But you know if you're on the twin flame journey because you get activated. It's like activation is when you get the download. Basically, your mind, your memory connects, right? Your remembrance. You get the download, you get shown, you get told, you get, you know, you awaken. You know, a lot of times it takes those heightened psychic abilities, you know, spiritually, for you to realize that. So you get the confirmation, right? Normally, if you're starting to ponder, I mean, because there's a lot of new age stuff out there and so many people throw it around so fluently, you know, it's just like, to me, twin flame is thrown out there just like kindred spirits and things like that. I mean, I'm not saying that's getting thrown out there, but it, you know, I know that that's been a term used for years, whatever. I recently heard it and I thought it explained, you know, really, like, just, it explained relationships that I was looking for just perfectly when I had heard it. It's interesting because I haven't heard those terms in years. Now collectively my soul family has been using that, and it's really neat. And in my reading yesterday I was talking a lot about when you find readers that are, you know, you find similarities, it's because they're connected on soul level, right? And if you're drawn to one, you're probably going to be drawn to others that have the same soul family, right? And the same collective consciousness, however you want to look at it, right? So anyways, I was sitting here and I was thinking a lot about the twin flame journey, you know, because I know there's been a lot of spiritual attacks, things like that. First of all, if you're on the twin flame journey, you're chosen. You're a chosen one. You're a star seed, light worker, earth angel, whatever, however you want to identify yourself. You are. And you have to know that you're constantly going to be battling the enemy, because we hold a frequency of high vibrational, unconditional love that is so strong and powerful that it's felt, it's seen to everyone that's around, right? So you're constantly under attack. So that's why we get these beautiful love stories, because you know, we go through the most, right? And nobody, until you're on this journey, can you really explain what that's like, right? Because it's more than just these beautiful love stories. We are coming in, we are clearing the field of just so much trauma within family bloodlines, to anybody that we encounter, clearing out just traumatic parts of the earth. A lot of us are, you have these other missions that you might not even be aware of, right? Where, you know, like, I'm a grid worker. I work on the grids of the planet. So I've been sent to some of the most darkest places and have healed with my frequency and have pulled myself out and been able to release and go back to love. And there's so much more that goes on. That's why we're chosen, where there's, you know, we got so many different missions and paths, things that we're doing. Wow, this is going a lot deeper than I wanted. So they're doing that. But it's far more than a love story, right? But I'm going to have to save that for a starseed reading where I get more into that. Because sometimes they come out with things when I start to connect with the divine source, our galactic family. messages and things. They have a lot that they want me to give out. But what I'm getting at is these twin flame journeys, they are the most challenging, but they really are for our most growth, because they are twin flame when we come into an alignment, not even to alignment. I call it an alignment because if you're on the frequency, if you're connecting with your twin, you're in an alignment. There's so much thrown around about sacred union and coming together. Everybody thinks that the twin flames, because they were separated, that they're going to come back together in perfect harmony. No, that's not what it's about at all. That's why I say be open to this. And you may be programmed in your mind because that's how you feel. Like, I have to find my twin. I have to come together. I feel so lost and so broken without them. But you don't understand the way, it's because long ago we were together and we were whole, but because of all of the trauma and everything that's happened, we were broken apart, right? And, anyway, I won't get into the background, but what I'm getting at is that, so you have that longing for each other and that coming together. What you don't understand is that there's so much that's been going on, and there's so much polarity in our world, that your mirrored soul, your twin, is always going to reflect at you and show you those aspects of you, and they have the opposite of what you have. So there's always going to be that duality. Like, that's how you know when you're with your twin, because they challenge you the most. It's like arguing with yourself. When you're getting into arguments, it's like you look at them and you see everything right back at you. It's like if you get mad and you're like, well, I'm not talking to you right now. They're the same way. And until you feel I gotta let this go so we can talk, you will keep not talking to each other. If one of you wants something, the other does. If one of you's the other, there constantly has to be that give and take, and the sharing, and being and reminding yourself, like, this is my twin. They feel this way because I do. It's not jealous and envious. It's because we're the same soul. So it constantly is undoing everything that most of us here are, it's like you live life for you here, but then you have to share it, and you have to get out of that ego. And then you constantly want to think that you can make your twin learn a lesson because you learned a lesson, and it doesn't work that way. You can't force them to awaken. You can't force them to heal. And some of the hardest things that you have to do is to set your ego aside. And for some of you, like, to save your soul, your twin, you have to let them go. You have to walk away, because that's the only way that it's going to trigger them to change. Because if they're complacent, there's a lot of the narcissistic, empathic paradigms. That's a very big sign of twins. And you'll hear a lot of people say, well, that's not true. Well, you're wrong. Because what did I just say? We're chosen that we come into the most challenging bloodlines with trauma. So you don't think growing up, getting sexually abused, getting physically abused, growing up with narcissistic parents, that's not going to have you enable and be narcissistic. Yeah. We always, that's how we learn. We act, we talk, we mirror what we're shown. So what you grow up around, that's how you are. You are a reflection of whatever you're subjected to. So you have to grow out of that. You have to teach yourself. That's where we tell ourselves, no, this isn't right. But it often takes you seeing yourself doing those things. Or then it takes getting those relationships, because that's how you are being, to get those type of people to be narcissistic to you, for you to say, whoa, I don't like how they're treating me. But then sometimes you can be so much in your ego, you don't realize that they were treating you that way because you were treating them that way. That you were being narcissistic to each other. Some people get stuck in those things and they don't want to realize it, and then they want to have the victim and the pity mentality. That's why there's so many chosen if you'll answer the call. Because you really have to change things. You really have to realize that if you're born into a family that have drug addiction, alcoholism, like, you're going to have that within your DNA and in your genes. You can't do that stuff. So, like, I'm sorry, like, if you want to say you're chosen, but you want to sit here and do recreational drugs and, You want to drink alcohol, then you're not serving the mission. Then stop. Stop saying that you're serving your mission, because it takes those sacrifices. It does. You have to let those things go. I mean, you're still healing trauma by being here if you heal yourself, but there's multiple layers to the mission. That's why there's... I just heard pecking order. I don't even know why. I don't even know what that means. I've heard it from movies. Somebody was saying that. But that's why there's leadership, right? The ones that can do that are the leaders. Like, I know that I'm a leader. I know that I am, because I have made so many sacrifices. I have self-isolated myself, knowing how precious and valuable my energy is, knowing that I absorb energy that surround me. So being in crowded environments, you know, so when all of my friends and everything are going to concerts and going to all of these things, like, I know that it was too intense for me, and that it's going to take me a lot. My level is going to be down dramatically at all this work. Like, I do better keeping my vibrational high, and can help many others in this planet just by self-isolating myself and keeping my vibration high. So there's a lot of sacrifices, right? That you know, you that's what I mean. You cannot compare your life to another, but this is going really deep. But what I'm getting at is that these twin flame journeys, where I was going with this, is that it the polarity, right? It's like, even when you do come together and you harmonize and you're together, as soon as something within the world, external factors, come in, destabilize you. If one of you decides to go drink alcohol and things like that, then you're subjected to the dark energies and spirits that are going to destabilize you. You constantly have everything coming at you. Everything. I mean, it's like, like, I just can't even tell you with my journey being with my twin, because we've been together for 2 years, but we it took us 7 years to even get the chance to come together. And coming together, we've had anything and everything trying to destroy us and rip us apart. I mean, we've lost family members, friends, jobs, homes, car, money, finances. We've literally only ever been able to go on a few dates. We never have alone time. We constantly are having, you know, just attacks from family to calls to police, just to everything and anything trying to disrupt us, right? Just drama, chaos. It's just everything. And it's like, I get it why some people, you know, not to mention our own, having to heal our own trauma and just all of this, you know, and it's literally like, whenever something's going good, like, we just, you know, we know that it's only going to be for a little while before something else is going to come, you know. So it's you know, most people can't handle that and stuff like that, but we just take each thing and just overcome, just like, we just know. It's just another one of those things, right? That's what I mean. This is I don't know if it, you know, the message that I wanted to give across is, you need to stop thinking that twin flames, that you're going to have this union, and just when you do come together, it's going to challenge you the most. Then you feel everything, you know? And then all of these things psyching you out. Like, when you start to have all of these attacks and everything coming at you to tear everything down, and then when your twin, even if you're strong enough, but then your twin starts to feel a certain way, you start to feel it. That's why I feel that, you know, everybody needs to stop glamorizing this twin flame journey and thinking just because you come together. That's why most, I feel, do better when they're apart. I think that the twin flame journey, like, the idea of it's wrong, because to me there's only so much. I know that we're doing so much work being together, but I've been starting to really question, are we going to do more? Are we going to do more better if we're apart? You see what I mean? it's like I've identified with it, and it's like I've gathered information. In these 2 years, I've advanced spiritually farther than I ever would have, to basically be with the reflection of my soul, to see everything that I do. Everything. Like I take into what I see, and I fix that about myself. And what's so beautiful is when I do tell my twin what's wrong, I see him fix it. So I've been seeing us both healing ourselves and changing ourselves. And it's like you're only able to put up with all of that because of the love. You know, we would have never been able to, nobody else would have been able to handle me. Like, I started to realize, like, why is he the only person that can calm me down? When my mind's stuck in a certain way, like everybody else has given up on me, walked away from me, said things to me, upset. But he knows exactly how to calm me down, how to flip my mind, how to get me out of it. You know, that was one of the biggest things when I started to realize, like, wow, because your twin will be the only one that can handle you. So there are these things, right? I'll never give up on you, because you're constantly going to have that polarity. But I don't know, and maybe it's just some twins aren't. There's too much for them to stabilize. There's too much trauma. Like, I know that my twin, just he had so much psychological, you know, he's got mental and PTSD. I think the extreme one, the one that keeps taunting you. You know, he's had the most, right? And we've had a lot of similar upbringings and stuff. But it's like, I feel that, like, some just don't want to heal from it. The triggers keep coming up, especially when you've had things physically done to you. And I think that's one of his biggest things, right? Is when you physically have things taken away from you from this life, and it's a constant reminder that some of the situations are just far too much pain to endure. Like, he's had so many people have been that he's lost in his life, that have died, and to having, I don't feel as though this is going to help people, to having cancer at a young age, having to go through surgeries, having to go through chemo, you know, having just all of those things, like, it, you know, all the stuff that it must do to the mind, right? You know, just, every situation is different, and it's because, too, it's like we're two fixed signs, so we're very, very stubborn, right? And, even though we're both water signs, but I'm more fixed because of all of my Leo placements, so, you know, we're very stubborn and set in our ways, right? And I know one of the biggest things is, like, when I have to back down, but he's the only one that's been able to ever get me to back down. So there is that, but it's like, sometimes the love is so strong. It's one of these, like, you know, seeing him get so upset about why we're under attack so much, and I understand it because I'm there spiritually and he's not. And it's like, I see all the trauma that it's bringing. It's brought me to points where I'm like, why am I fighting? What is the point fighting for all of this? Like, if we can't identify it and be happy together, you know? And it's like, so one of the biggest things is because I felt I'm more further advanced on the journey, that, you know, like, I'm going to make it stop by walking away. But then, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those where it's like, I'm at this point where it's like, I just feel sometimes you have to let the ego go and realize that you're going to be better just to love each other from afar and not be together. It's like, if you forget what you're fighting for, if you can't harmonize more than just a little while. That's why it's really significant, you know, like, every situation is different. Like, for some of you, like, you have to walk away from family members, because for some of you, it's family members that are doing that. Like, my own mother, like, I had to let her go. It was stirring the demons within her. She completely changed. People will completely change in your life. And it's hard when you have, you know, like, all my children have been used against us. You know, there's just sometimes it's, and you can't just walk away and let everybody out. And the devil and the demons are just going to keep coming and coming and coming. And it's very challenging. I felt to put some truth out there about the Twin Flame Collective. So this is going to reach whoever. I mean, everybody's situation is different. Just maybe my path, my twin path, because I'm a leader. Maybe that's why mine is far more powerful than others. Because if you don't have all this going on, maybe there's something about that. Maybe the leaders here have the most difficult twin journeys. But I've been sitting here thinking about it, and I was told to hit record, so I did. So here we go. All right. Love and light to all of you. Bye, guys.